I will call to order tonight's meeting of the Lincoln County Board of Commissioners on this 21st day of July 2025. Before we do our moment of silence, I just wanted to let everyone know that Commissioner Cecina is not with us tonight, that he's having some medical procedures done, but he is online with us. So if y'all just keep him in your prayers. So if you would, join me with a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, I will entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Patton. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
So the agenda is approved. All right, we'll move to the consent agenda. I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Mr. Chairman, I'd ask that we pull item C out for individual consideration.
Okay, so we'll pull item C out of the consent agenda and we'll make it a, where you want to put it, Alex?
I'm sorry?
Where you want to put it in the agenda?
Right after the consent agenda is fine.
Okay, so we'll pull 2C out right before 3 and speak about it as an individual item. So do I have a motion to approve that consent agenda?
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Mullen. Any further discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All right. So now we will discuss the amended meeting schedule as pulled from the consent agenda. So what we're trying to do with that, there are other boards and other things that we would like to do as a board to be able to have more of a work session style meeting so that way we can use the staff during the day, and it'll also allow for other people who can't make it in the evenings to come by and be part of our meetings if they have anything going on. So it will be the second meeting of the month. Does anyone else have anything to add to that?
No, I just wanted it pulled out to where it was clearly explained in open session to where people would understand and wouldn't have to dig it out of the consent agenda. Thank you.
And I'm going to say something. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to start planning. And we require, David has for years, for the time he's been county manager, he's required all department heads to do a 5-year plan. And we feel as commissioners, if we're the head of the snake, we should have a plan too. So we're going to start getting together in some of these business meetings and start planning stuff so that, well, that's kind of odd to say in a government body planning something, but we're going to plan. So we're going to be a little different. We're trying to do things a little different. Also, I do want to point out that next August 4th meeting starts at 4:30 due to the, and that's in the afternoon, due to the fact of all the planning and zoning cases we have.
Yes, sir. Okay, all right. Everybody good with that one? Okay, we'll move to item number 3, public hearing, industrial. Yes, we've already voted on that.
Didn't we?
No, we need to vote
on the individual item,
Yeah.
on the action, yep.
Yeah.
So we pulled that. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the new meeting schedule.
So moved.
All right, motion by Commissioner Carpenter. Any discussion? All right, hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. So that item passes. So August the 4th, we will have our meeting starting at 4:30. And then August the 18th, our regular meeting will be at 10 a.m. So now we'll move to item number 3, public hearing, industrial incentive grant. John Dankoff.
Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
I'm here tonight to request an industrial incentive grant offered through the Lincoln County Industrial Incentive Grant Program for the expansion of an existing industry. I'm here to represent, formerly listed in your packet as BBB. The industry is actually Bloom, located at 7733 Old Plank Road. Bloom manufactures hinges, drawer runners, and lift systems for the kitchen cabinet hardware industry. They state in their application, the investment is to be used for manufacturing technology and equipment, warehouse upgrades, and building enhancements. The agreement would read, on or before July 21st, 2025, Bloom shall begin the installation of equipment and building expansion. Within 2 years of the date of this agreement, Bloom shall make an investment upon such site of $10,813,124, of which $8,784,474 will qualify for incentives under the Lincoln County Industrial Incentive Grant Policy. Then within 2 years of the date of this agreement, Bloom will provide at this site at least 4 new jobs, paying an average wage of $20 per hour plus benefits. Upon approval of this agreement, the county will provide $30,862.82 per year in grants for a 5-year period after the project's completion. This is a level 2 incentive grant for this type of project. I do want to add, you recently approved a rezoning request for Bloom, but this is not included in this incentive. They're still waiting for corporate approval. That'll be a much larger investment, probably around $40 million, but we'll bring that to you in a couple months after. But this is, they want to stay on track with their 2-year cycle for their equipment and expansion grants. So we want to go ahead and approve this one tonight, and then we'll follow up in a couple months with the larger investment.
Okay, anyone have any questions for John? All right. So we have to do a public hearing for this one. So I'll open the public hearing concerning industrial incentive grant for BB. And seeing that no one has signed up, is anyone in the room would like to speak on this? All right, seeing that no one's signed up and no one's wanting to speak, I will declare the public hearing closed. And I will entertain a motion to adopt the industrial incentive grant for BB.
So moved.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Mullen. Any discussion? All right, hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the ayes have it, so it's passed.
All right.
Thank you,
I'd also
John.
like to take a moment to thank the county commissioners for your support of local and industrial industry over the past 8 years. I've been with Lita. I will continue with Lita, but in a different role. So from here on out, Ms. Anna Mullen will be presenting these as our new existing industry manager. So thank you so much for all your support through the years.
Thank you, John. All right, next on the agenda is the annual settlement for 2024. Ms. Sane.
Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
This evening, I just have 2 requests as required by General Statute 105-373. The first is the annual settlement, which I think you all have a copy of that. So this year, we have collected, this is the 6th year in a row that we've collected over 99%. So it's 99.40, which is an awesome job of the collectors to do that. It's amazing. So I need approval for that. And then the second one is to collect taxes for 2025, which tax bills are in the mail.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions?
Any questions?
Okay, so we will do item A first, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the resolution accepting the tax settlement with the Lincoln County Tax Administrator.
So moved.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Carpenter. Any discussion? All right, hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So the ayes have it, so that one passes. We'll move to item B. I will entertain a motion to approve the resolution for the order directing the tax collector to collect the taxes charged in the tax records and receipts. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Mullen. Any discussion? All right, hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move to item number 5, purchase of a 330 excavator from Carolina Cat. Andrew.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board. I have before you two purchase requests tonight from the Solid Waste Division of Development Services. The first is a purchase of a 330 hex excavator from Carolina Cat. This was replacing a 2013 Cat excavator, Cat 320 excavator with 11,500 hours. This excavator was actually purchased in 1993 and rebuilt in 2013. This purchase here is the upgraded 330 model, which, as it notes, the upgraded and larger hydraulic pumps help with fuel efficiency along with a larger bucket size to increase lift capacity. This is being purchased off of Sourcewell contract for a total of $366,605.56. Are there any questions?
Are we keeping the 320? Are we trading it in?
The 2013 320 will likely go on gov deals or be traded in, whatever yields the best value. We will still maintain one 320 on the site that's a newer model than that. So we'll have two working.
Okay. Any questions for Andrew? All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the purchase of a 330 excavator from Carolina Cat.
So moved.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Patton. Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. That passes. All right.
The
Number
next
six.
item is the purchase of a D6 bulldozer from Carolina Cat. This is replacing a 2016 D6T bulldozer that has almost 12,500 hours. Another vital piece of equipment used in daily operation. This newer equipment decreasing the maintenance and costs for fewer filters and group service points. This is a cost of $346,967.95. Again, this is also off of a Sourcewell contract from Carolina Cat. And are there any questions on this item?
Any questions? I will entertain a motion to approve the purchase of a D6 LGP bulldozer from Carolina Cat.
So moved.
All right, motion by Commissioner Carpenter. Any discussion? All right, hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the ayes have it.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Andrew. All right, we'll move on to item number 7, the adopt a resolution authorizing and approving the installment financing.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. So this is really just another step in our process to finance for the school expansion at St. James. We'll be seeking limited obligation bonds, and this is a time-sensitive resolution which simply allows us to do the installment financing as well as to acquire the St. James property, which we'll then lease back, but that'll serve as our collateral on the financing the debt up to, but not to exceed, $13 million. Right now, the projected allocation is around $11 million, so I'm looking for the board just to approve the resolution as presented.
All right. I will entertain a motion to adopt a resolution authorizing and approving on installment financing.
Make a motion to adopt the installment financing.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Mullen. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. It passes. Next item.
Thank you, Commissioners. The next item is to accept an NCDOT Division of Aviation grant for airport improvements. We were kind of in a fortunate situation. This does require a local fund match. However, there was some additional dollars for, we currently have projects out there that require an improvement of our runway and taxiway lighting and signage. This is an ongoing project. We're receiving $2.3 million with a match of $257,600, and I'm asking the board to move to accept this award.
Any discussion? Any questions for David?
Repeat those figures one more time.
So the state funds, so what happened here is they allocate funds for these improvements to the different airports, and this is one that my understanding is some groups or maybe multiple groups did not use their funds within the time frame, so they turned around and said, is anybody else willing to accept this? Well, we still have this project that's ongoing. We do have funds allocated, so this is an additional money. So it's $2,318,400 for the state funds allocation with a local match of $257,600 to help conclude that project.
So in other words, for $257,600, we're going to replace all the lights at the airport.
We're going to upgrade the taxiway lighting and the runway and everything, yes.
Okay, all right.
Oh, yeah, I mean, this is good use of county dollars to leverage against that much improvements for the airport.
That's why I wanted you to repeat those figures, because
I'm sorry. I know, tell me if I talk fast, and I'll slow
You
down.
talk too much.
I
No,
know.
go ahead.
All right, so I'll entertain a motion to accept a grant from North Carolina DOT, DOA for airport improvements.
So moved.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Carpenter. Any discussion? All right, all in favor, indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the ayes have it, so that passes. All right, item number 9, ordinance to amend Chapter 111 of the Lincoln County Code of Ordinances. Ms. Gilbert.
So, thank you, Mr. Chair. Tonight, I have before you Chapter 11 of the Lincoln County Code of Ordinances and an amendment to that. This is the peddlers and solicitors ordinance. Since the time this was submitted, I've been asked to make a couple additional changes. And also, there is no reason to vote tonight because we do not have a full board here. And since this is the first introduction, it cannot pass unless it has the full board approval. So with Commissioner Cecina not being here, we're going to go ahead and push off the vote for another meeting. But also, I've been asked to add in a time frame requiring that no one be able to solicit or peddle after the hours of 9 p.m. and before the hours of 9 a.m. So I will need no action on this. Any questions, concerns? Okay,
I think we're good.
all right.
Well, since you have the next one, go ahead with the ordinance to amend Chapter 152 of the Lincoln County Code of Ordinances.
Well, so this is also an amendment. This is a simple amendment to Chapter 152 of the Lincoln County Code of Ordinances related to the organizational transition of Natural Resources Division under Development Services and out from under the Soil and Water Conservation District. But since Commissioner Cecina is not present, we can hold off. Y'all can take a vote, and then it still won't pass, and then we can vote again next time, however you want to proceed.
I would just like to wait for
All
Commissioner
right?
Senior to be here.
So we'll go ahead and push that off till the August meeting.
Okay, so we're going to table item number 10.
And if it's okay with you, Mr. Chair, we could put that on the 4:30 portion of the agenda possibly, since these will go pretty fast, since they've been presented already.
I'm okay with that.
All right, that's all I have.
Okay, so we'll move on to item number 11, Library Board Trustees Bylaw Revisions. Dr. Jennifer Sackett.
Good evening, Commissioners. The bylaws for the Library Board of Trustees were recently reviewed and updated to provide clarification of roles and responsibilities and standardization with other county boards. The proposed revisions to the bylaws more accurately reflect the current duties and functions associated with a library advisory board. The current bylaws were more of a governing structure, whereas they took the wording from a 1952 state statute and just dropped those in. So the modifications were based on best practices. They are the results of meeting with the library board, the county attorney, and myself. On June 4th, the library board unanimously voted to adopt and recommend these for you for official adoption. So I come before you tonight to request that you adopt the amended bylaws, and I believe you were all given a copy of the red line, which is pretty much a rewrite. And if you have any questions between Megan and I, we can answer them for you.
Does anyone have any questions for Ms. Sackett? Okay. Well, then I'll entertain a motion to adopt the Library Board of Trustees bylaw revision.
So moved.
All right, we have a motion made by Commissioner Carpenter. Any discussion? All right, hearing none. All in favor, indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank you.
Okay, now we'll move on to public comment. This is where we allow the citizens to address the board concerning any matter. You are given 3 minutes to speak as an individual and 5 minutes to speak as a board or a group. And if the group needs to be present, to be granted the 5 minutes. We have 2 signed up to speak tonight. First, John Fletcher. I don't see Mr. Fletcher. Then we'll move on to the next, Gunny Hull.
County Commissioners, Gunny Hole, 319 North Poplar Street. Just wanted to come up a few things. I thought I knew and understood how things ought to be. Then I read the Bible. Proverbs 14:11 says, "The house of the wicked shall be overthrown, but the tabernacle of the upright shall flourish." Proverbs 14:12 and Proverbs 16:25 says the same thing. "There is a way that seemeth right to the man, but the end thereof the ways of death." And then 13 and 14, "Even in laughter the heart is sorrowful, and the end of the mirth is heaviness. The backslider in heart shall be filled with his own ways, and a good man from himself." You see, there was a man at one time that he had something on his own agenda, he thought, and it was in a group of religious ways. He's very zealous and everything else. And he went around murdering people, but it was sanctioned. And his name was called Saul. But then he became born again, and his name then became Paul. So just not too long ago, we had a man in Arizona. You see, this is what opinions do. There was a man in Arizona that had the same ideas and didn't understand, and yet his heart was filled with hate. And he was a Jew, and he murdered this preacher in Arizona for the very same reasons. Another situation it was current news, as I was looking this stuff up, there was a woman who loved foxes, and apparently the county government didn't like that either. So they made laws and rules against what she was doing to where it complicated what she was doing and saving these animals. And then the public found out about her and where she's at, and then they ridiculed her to the point she committed suicide. The reason, again, of course, the reason I'm bringing that up is the same thing is going on in this county. You're doing the very same thing. And though it's not coming up tonight, you're working on it to do the very same thing. And here you're borrowing not just some government or whatever, but it's the Lincoln County taxpayers' money, spending $15 million on a cat and dog house, but you're borrowing money for school children. Your priorities are out of sync. And because it seemed like you're power hungry, you're in that drug, you're doing the same thing. Same as John Henry and many others whose bribes and taking of the money, this stuff's going to come out because it's a thing that's going around in our nation today that no one is above the law, not even you.
Okay, thank you. Having no one else on the list, is there anyone else in the room who'd like to speak? All right, seeing none, I will close the public comments. We'll move on to County Manager's Report. Mr. Madden.
Thank you, Chairman. So a couple of just news updates. So we have effectively transitioned to the Lincoln County Regional Airport, and that occurred on July 1. Right now, we're in the process of aligning the existing engineers and projects with the county's transition team. The county attorney, Megan, has already really did a lot of work on the lease review and assessment. There's still work to be done there, but now we're finally getting our handle, not completely yet, but we've done a good job, I think, getting a hand on the projects. A lot of different funding mechanisms and streams and grasping that, but we're in the process. I want to give you some assurance there that we are lining up with the state and having meetings and getting some momentum. Their interviews for the airport manager have been concluded, and I should have an update on the status within another week or two for the board on that position. Also, just like to make you aware that information technology has been successfully relocated from the bank downtown into their new location on McBee Street. So we're excited for that. Have a little more security there, as well as hopefully some server and power integrity. Project updates real quick. The Sane Family Library, we're expected construction to begin on that building within the next couple of weeks. We're waiting on the steel to be delivered to the site. Historic Courthouse, I want to give you a quick update on that. 3 of the 4 corners have been complete so far with the subgrade waterproofing. Y'all know that was a big issue in basically saving that structure, saving the integrity of that structure, getting that done. They're working on the 4th corner. And we're also improving that east side water line and working in conjunction with the city on that. That's the one we're doing the reimbursement for the city. So that's underway now. And then last but not least, Sheriff's Office Training Facility. We've moved into construction documents for that site so that we're getting progress there. And then last but not least, I just want to throw out reminders that Commissioner Carpenter and others had mentioned August 4th meeting. Just remind you, it will begin at 4:30, but I also want to make the public aware that we will have part of that meeting, and then the board will have a recess at some point around 5 or 5:30, depending on the board's pacing. They'll have a moment recess, and then we'll resume the meeting after probably about a 30 to 45-minute recess there, depending again on the board's decision. And then also, again, remind August 18th, 10 a.m. meeting based on the approval of the new schedule. And that concludes my report, unless you have any questions.
All right, anyone have any questions? Okay, we'll move to the county attorney's report. Ms. Gilbert.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So a few things to update. Our tax office is still working with Catawba County's tax office to update and get those final numbers for the county line. We are looking at not as many people moving, but still roughly, I believe, 240 were moving completely. There are a large number that are split. And then there are a large number of residences that are split by the line that are on those split properties. Along with that, we are finalizing the agreement for the schools and the funding for the schools between the 2 counties. So this will allow students who, before the now June 30th date, who were enrolled in Lincoln County schools and are still living in the same home that they were living in at the time that they were enrolled at the end of the school year, they will be allowed to stay there, and vice versa. Catawba County also has students. We're not so sure on how many what numbers look like now because the line did move. So we're waiting on those numbers from the schools, and Andrew and his folks will run the data and get us those numbers. But that agreement will come before this board on August 4th, before the kids go back to school. County home subdivision, some of you, probably most of you are not aware of this. Commissioner Lineberger may be the only one, and Commissioner Cecina was on the board when we talked about this. But the county owned a large piece of property in the 50s, subdivided it in the 60s, and inadvertently forgot to convey out portions of the property. This was discovered last year. We have finally got all of those deeds recorded and those issues are resolved. So if you get questions about, hey, I got a deed in the mail, that's why we did notify these people that these deeds were coming. But it has been a while waiting on the surveys and the legal descriptions to be drafted by our tax office. But that is complete. Last update, opioid settlements. I know I reached out to the board. There are 2 additional settlements that are coming in. The remaining manufacturer settlements is about $1.2 billion. That's nationwide. We don't know exactly what number will come to us yet, but it will pass through the MOA that's set up by the NCDOJ, and an additional resolution will come before the board once we get the additional documentation for that. And then the one that most people know of is the Sackler family and Purdue Pharma. That is about $8 billion. $6.5 billion will be paid by Purdue, and 6.5 will be paid by the Sackler family, and 1.5 billion will be paid by the Purdue bankruptcy. But as more information comes in and we have updated numbers on how much the county will get, I will keep you all updated. Any questions for me?
Anyone have any questions?
All right.
Okay. County Commissioners report. Anyone have anything to report? Anybody have anything to report on County Commissioners?
I have just a couple
Okay.
things, if you don't mind.
All right.
So the first one is, had the opportunity recently to be a part of the 15th anniversary of Atrium Hospital here in Lincoln. If you don't remember, not familiar, before Atrium came, we had a small community hospital, had trouble getting good doctors, and it was basically ran by the Board of Commissioners. I appreciate y'all, but I don't want you involved in my health care, you know? So Atrium came, and I just want to publicly thank them for what they brought to Lincoln County, East Lincoln, West Lincoln, over the years, all that they've committed to Lincoln County to make such a good facility that we have. And secondly, back in 2006, somewhere around that time frame, we were getting really bad transportation service from private providers. So we started with TOC and brought all trips inside, just because of their lack of service. I'll give each of you a packet just to make you aware of the issues that is facing TOC currently. The level of service is substandard, and I solicited input from the main departments, county departments that use TOC. Their comments, not mine, are on those pages, so I'll just ask you to read that. And now that TOC is under the manager and the assistant manager, I would ask that a light is shined on that and we begin to correct these issues.
Okay. Anyone else have anything? Okay, then we'll move to item 16, vacancies and appointments. Commissioner Mullen will present.
Chairman Lineberger, I would like to make a motion to appoint to the following appointments for Planning Board. To appoint Daniel Rodoms, Howards Creek Township. The Social Services Board to appoint Mike Devine. For the Council of Aging to reappoint Lauren Hebner as general, Wanda Clary as general faith, and Melinda Hauser as senior.
Okay, are those made in the form of a motion? So, by Commissioner Mullen, any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the ayes have it, so they are approved. So we'll move to item 17. Any other business to come before this board at this time? All right, hearing none, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, we've got a motion by Commissioner Carpenter. Any discussion? All right, hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, we are adjourned.